we are back. If you're listening on ALRadioshy.com LLC, then you know we just played 2020. It never rains in Southern California. But that is not true. It's been raining. It's been raining lately. It's been raining lately. So before we left on break, we were talking about this has been trending because it's all in the news in Chicago. So it's definitely part of our trending topics. So I'm just going to wrap up to say this on that topic, and then I'm going to move on. So I am all about demonstration. I am all about, we want justice. We want, to be treated fairly, equally. But here's the thing. Looting is not the answer. Peaceful protest, yes. If we go back and look at the 60s and in the 50s, when like I said, Dr. King and everybody was marching, they were peaceful protests. Even though they were being peaceful, they still got dogs turned on them and water hoses and beaten with batons and things like that. But they still were peaceful. It was like we have an objective to accomplish, and they accomplish that objective. We have objectives as well in today's time, but we have to stay focused on what that objective is. Looting and stealing and trying to take down retailers, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Okay? So anytime there's a peaceful demonstration, I'm all for being a part of that. But I'm saying I wasn't raised to steal because my mother would have killed us. So no. And then it was discussed on like another show talking about.
My mother would have killed me. So yeah.
Yes. So it was discussed on another show. We talk about people knowing right and wrong. I still say I think that when God,
you don't know right.
I do
wrong.
right. I don't think somebody has to stand over there and tell you. You know that's wrong. I think that's a cop out. You take me to tell me when you kill somebody, you don't know that's wrong.
I'm sitting there when you sat there and you watched them, you're not.
Okay.
When you sit there watching, you see them laughing as they get in the car because they stole.
Yes.
You know better than that.
You know that you're doing something. You're doing something wrong. And you feel like you have gotten away with something. Absolutely. So
guess what? You have it. And guess what? If you stole something from the Apple store, you definitely ain't getting away with it because they got a tracker on it.
As Brianna has named her TT Lori, Auntie Lori is not having it. Auntie Lori is not having any of it.
Yeah.
None of it.
She ain't mad that she Auntie Lori. Because when I tell you, she was so mad at that press conference, I was looking at her talking, I'm like, I know she was in.
Right. What she wants to say is that she can't say about what she said. I'm sick of this shit. I was gonna tell what she can say. You all getting on my nerves. She said, I'm tired of it. Get your stuff to get it together. Get it together.
She gonna get the bell on y'all.
They don't need. What did we talk about that? We said, damn the belt. They need a switch. Back in the day when you got a switch on your butt.
Auntie Lori.
Listen here.
Auntie Lori, she gonna get that switch and then she gonna do this.
And she gonna take all of the.
She gonna take all of and she gonna.
Yeah, and then wait, hold on, and then you let it dry out. And that's what's gonna tear your butt up. Yeah, that's a whole lot. That's what I said. So when people say, "Well, kids, boys are not taught how to be men, and they're not taught this," you know what? I think that we all have that. When God created us, we all have that right and wrong button in us. You just choose to ignore it. I don't care whether you had a mother or did have a mother or a father. Don't give a shit.
I'm gonna say
know right from wrong.
I'm gonna say this, but a lot of this too is that you got kids that's at home by themselves. Because the parents, they apparently refuse they don't want to parent. They stop parenting. Because they want to go.
They stop parenting when the kid turns 5.
Right.
I don't even think they parent when the kid is 5.
Right. They want to go out to the bar and they want to do this and that. So then you leave them and then they're watching TV and they're like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. And then, so,
But don't you think that, see, I again, I'm going to say this again. I firmly believe that when we are created, we have that button inside of us. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jayla. So I firmly believe that we have that compass inside of us that says, this is right and this is wrong. I don't care if no one teaches you that. I think we're born with that. But I think what happens is that if it's not enforced, if a parent has not enforced that in you, then you just like, oh, I can do whatever I want to do. But I'm gonna be honest. If you had gone to church for 5 seconds, then you learn the commandments. One of them was like, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Honor thy mother and thy father.
That's 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So we can't even do the top 3.
Right, exactly.
We gonna kill, steal, and not honor.
Exactly, and not honor our parents. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying too.
But
You're born with it, and it's in you.
But
It's
let
in
me
you.
say this. I tell people, I've said this before. There's a reason. That's because kids don't have a healthy dose of fear of their parents.
You know what? I agree with that. Say it one more time, bro.
That's the problem. Kids do not have a healthy dose of fear of your parents.
There you go. Children do not have a healthy dose of fear of your parents.
Let me explain.
There you go.
Let me explain to you. I'm 28. There's a healthy dose of fear I have of my mother. You know why? Because I tell people, I got 2 whoopings. The second was a fluke. Because that first one, I thought I was going to die. That is not, no. So once you feel that, and as you get older, you don't like that. Like, and you have to think about, I remember Diddy, they were doing like the tribute to their mom.
Diddy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody know Diddy is, of a particular age.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said, I still remember my mama kicked my ass. He said, And now Diddy 51 years old. So there's just certain things you remember being there.
Absolutely.
You think like,
Absolutely. Yep.
That's the number one problem. Kids ain't got healthy dose of fear.
Right, and parents are afraid to discipline your children. I say this all the time on the show. There's discipline and then there's abuse. Me spanking your ass is not abuse. That's me keeping you from having to go to court to pay fees for my badass kid.
Then,
so that's what that's all about.
And then kill me now. Kids have to say now. I'm gonna call the police.
Call them.
Okay, I'm gonna beat you and they can come and get you.
Let me tell you, one of them said, I think my sister said that. I said, well, you call them because by the time they get here, they gonna have to take y'all because I'm gonna beat your ass real good before they get here, and then they can take you right along with them. So call them if you want to. Yeah, my mother did not. But to this day, what do I say? Cause my mother still. I'm a particular age, and my mama still. When she started talking, I'm like, let me back up. Cause I already know somebody come at me that I ain't really feeling, so I'm gonna back up while I'm talking and go about my business.
I tell people you have to get out of the shoe range. Shoe throwing distance.
It ain't shoe, it's this here. I have to get out. I have to go out there.
Like there's a particular, I was just,
So that's what I'm saying. So
and
right.
I watched my grandma, and that's just something I wouldn't say. And somebody I know, he said something, and all my grandma.
Yeah, absolutely. My mother did not play. That's why I said a lot of these kids. This is what it is.
I was an adult when she said that. I was up, keep it moving.
And so I wanted to tell you guys that. So the word of our day today is accountability. Nobody seems to want to be accountable for their action and their behavior. Hell, I've had to be accountable for my behavior.
All right, now we're gonna way too far in the segment.
No, I'm great. I'm just going right into my next segment. So now, when I talk about accountability, I want to talk about toxic work environment, because we kind of hit on that a little bit last week. But as I told you, as I do my research and my homework, I run across these topics that's interesting to me. So I had never really read about what's my girl name? Tyra Banks and Jay Manuel. Now I remember on America's Next Top Model. I remember him being there. You guys remember him? He was the kind of grayish blonde hair guy. Silver, yeah, whatever. So apparently, I guess he they were really good friends because he started doing her hair for whatever one of her regular hairstyles didn't show up, and then he did her hair one time and they became really good friends. So I guess when she started coming up with this concept about America's Next Top Model, that he was right there with her, and he said he was going to be in charge of all of the photo shoots and things like that. So I guess like the first and second season, he was. And then as you start getting these other executive producers coming on, they decide they want to change up things. Well, I guess, Jay was like, and I guess they kind of like took that from him. So I guess he began to feel a certain way. But he thought that, and he said, so after the third season, he told Tyra that he was going to quit. He was going to leave the show. He wanted to go and explore other things. Well, I guess her response to him was like, I didn't think you were a quitter. Right, and so he just like, kind of gave her like an expression.
But
and then he said, so the next season, that's when he became a judge, because I guess after that, because he wasn't allowed to orchestrate the photo shoots the way he wanted, how they should be. So then he became a judge. But he said from that moment on, it would be like, hello, no like camaraderie or talking, kind of messing around, playing around, whatever. And so I'm just like. It's just a thing, I guess, that we're hearing lately. So many toxic work environments.
Well, let me say that Tyra can come across, because I remember it was one particular girl that she got eliminated.
This one I'm talking about, the dark skinned girl.
It was a dark skinned girl. She got eliminated and because she didn't cry or whatever. Tyra got mad and started yelling at her like, "You ain't do this," and everybody, and like a lot of the judges were looking at her.
Well, the way as I kind of reviewed that story, the way I reviewed is like they said the longer she was on there, because they were saying she had a chance to win. But she was on there. She had tried out like the year before, and then I think she didn't get arrested or something was an issue or something. So then they brought her back. She tried out the next year. They brought her back, and they said she was doing really, really well. So some of these trials. But then Tyra said, I noticed like doing some of the I guess the things they had to do. She started. It was like she was like really stopped trying. She just kind of stopped trying, and the fact that she got eliminated. The other girl I think shed tears, but she was just like the girl was like. She said, I spent so much time crying myself to sleep here. This, and that shit.
She's like, I don't have no tears.
Exactly. That's what she said. Exactly.
And my thing with that, Tyra, that's not your place to yell at somebody.
To really tell somebody how they're really feeling on the inside, just because they're not showing tears.
They're not showing the emotion.
Right. Exactly.
She said that she's like, I cried about this that night. She's like, I'm done crying.
Yep. Exactly.
She was done crying. So, but for you to like. That's when I stopped watching America's Next Top Model.
I remember it when I saw it because I did the playback. I was like, oh yeah, I do. I remember that episode.
I did not feel that at all because I felt like that was totally disrespectful.
But see, in Tyra's mind, she said to her when she saw the fact that she wasn't crying or she was kind of like shrugged up. She said it was like she was like telling I don't give a shit that you all got rid of me. I came here, I did the best I could, blank. So I don't care what you think.
But
so that's how she felt.
That's how you felt, but still, Tyra.
I think that's how Tyra think that she felt.
Okay, you didn't ask her. You just started yelling at her.
She did. She yelled at her like she was her child.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking at you like, who you think you're talking to?
And the girl did.
I said, because the only person that can yell at me is my mom.
Yeah.
You're not my mother, and didn't have the girl snapped off and said that to you. You would have had a problem.
And the girl just kind of turned around and she was like, okay, and then she walked away.
But she was
so she didn't do an exchange, which I probably thought, I was like, first of all, who are you yelling at?
Right, because she was well within her right to say something to you because that's not your child.
Exactly. You don't have to agree with what I do, but there's where you can disagree respectfully.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, I said the girl did not disrespect it, and even when the girl did her closing package, what she said was that I thank Tyra, I thank all of them at America's Next Top Model for giving me this opportunity. So she could have went off and called her a bitch. Saying who does she think she is yelling at me? But she didn't. So she maintained her composure. Right. So I get that. But that's what I said. I said, but for Tyra to say that to somebody that you called like J Man, that was your close friend. But to make remarks like that. So my question is, how do you if you're a really good friend, okay, if you're a really good friend, how do you maintain your relationship in Hollywood or or whatever the industry may be? How would you maintain a close relationship, even if you disagree?
I'm gonna say that. I say that friends should work with friends. That's number one.
You said friends shouldn't work with friends?
I
don't know if I agree with that.
It just depends on how a person acts. Because the thing about it's hard to define that because people change. And the thing about it is when Tyra got her show America's Next Top Model, then she got
and it was a huge success.
Right. Then she got her talk show. Let's not say Tyra Banks lost some money.
You think so?
And she tried to become more important than what she was.
See, now that I kind of can agree with a little bit.
Tyra, you were a model. It wasn't like you was just, you
wait, and then she made a statement to two girls. She said, you don't know where I came from. You don't know anything about my background. So, excuse me, Tyra, where did you actually come from? Because I really don't know her backstory like that.
Right.
So, wasn't her mother, wasn't she military or something?
Military.
I think, as I don't really know her backstory.
I don't think Tyra really grew up poor.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I think it was a military thing. I believe.
I don't think that, but for you, I haven't felt Tyra Banks for years, and
So which came first, the talk show or America's Next Top Model?
America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
Then she got the talk show.
Then
you got mad because somebody called you fat, and you didn't look fat. And that's what it is.
Oh, and she didn't tell people to kiss her fat ass.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
I haven't felt Tyra